The lower house in Uruguay is planning on legalizing marijuana. So they are passing a bill that would legalize the sale, distribution, and production of marijuana. They've already decriminalized possession of marijuana, so they want to go even further, which is great news. And it's expected to pass in the Senate, and the president is already in favor of signing that legislation into law. So Uruguay might be the first country in the world to legalize marijuana.
So now this is great because apparently the House was the biggest issue because they say that, and they've already passed the bill. The Senate is definitely going to pass it, and the president's the guy who pushed it. So it looks like unless something really weird happens, they're going to do it. And it's not just decriminalizing, which means, yeah, it's illegal, but we're not going to make it a criminal activity. We'll give you a civil fine, et cetera, as Portugal has done. But it's actually going to be legal. You can grow up to 6 plants on your own, and it's not like have at it, Hoss, go nuts, do whatever you want. There's strict rules on how you grow it or distribute it or sell it, and in fact, you have to do it through government pharmacies.
Yeah, let me give you the details via Think Progress. They did a good job covering this. They said the proposal would allow licensed sellers, distributors, and even individual growers of marijuana. Users could access marijuana in one of 3 ways. They could grow up to 6 plants on their own with a license, join a licensed growing cooperative with up to 45 members, or obtain it from a licensed pharmacy. So what's really interesting is, okay, there are private growers, but you don't buy the marijuana from a private company. You have to buy it from the government, which I like. You have to buy it from licensed pharmacies, which I like. And these are all like state-owned, so it's not like private companies can make money off of this. In the US, it's a little different with medicinal marijuana.
So can I just do a quick ode to Uruguay President José Mujica? He's by far my favorite president in the world. He's the guy that gives away 90% of his salary back to the people, and it's not because he's rich. He's not rich at all. He lives on a small farm. He's got I think like a Volkswagen Beetle or something that he drives around. He wasn't part of the power establishment. Apparently, democracy is broken out in Uruguay, which is amazing, right? And in this case, he says, look, I'm an old man. I've never smoked marijuana. He's like, but I understand what young people are doing. And more important than that, I understand that for every 10 lives drug addiction costs, we lose 100 lives from the gangsters who are running the drug wars. And my aim is, yes, to make it cheaper so that we don't have a black market that kills all these people. And of course, we know through Portugal's experience in decriminalizing that the addiction rates do not go up, they actually go down when you decriminalize.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's the most obvious thing in the world.
But the example from look at the United States in the 20s and 30s. I mean, prohibition worked, didn't it?
So I'm sorry, I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
Right? I mean, it worked. All it did was create a mafia and an underground of crime that still lives today. So what's the problem?
and in fact, finally, people are waking up to that. So, and he's not alone here. Guatemalan President Otto Perez Molina has also outright endorsed legalization. They haven't gone there yet, but he wants them to. Of course, former Mexican President Vicente Fox says legalize it. Former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan says legalize it. It's an enormous movement, and there's now about 3 or 4 Latin American countries that are working on decriminalization or legalization, and it's only a matter of time before people go, okay, look, we've seen the evidence. The addiction rates do not go up, and we gotta get rid of the gangsters.
So there's like an international commission right now that's fighting to end the war on drugs, which I'm very happy about because, as you guys know, a lot of former politicians are involved in this movement. But at the same time, these are the same politicians that helped fuel the war on drugs when they were in power. So that really irritates me. And I know that there are politicians out there right now that believe in in ending prohibition, but they won't speak out. They won't do anything about it. And I want them to grow some balls and do something while they're in power, because this international commission is all fine and dandy. I love the work that they're doing, but it's not as effective when they're not in power, when they don't have any political power.
So you're saying you want them to grow little nuggets of courage.
Exactly.
So I'll say this, why don't they just, I don't know if they've ever thought of this, why don't they just take all the drug dealers, the people making the money off it, why don't they put them in prison?
Oh, right. Why didn't they think of that?